Hey guys, Kiwi here. In this video, I'll be breaking down the synopsis episode descriptions for all the remaining episodes in Better Call Saul Season 4. We're just about halfway through the season, so I'll be focusing on episodes 405 to 410, the season finale. With that being said, major warning of spoilers for everything in the show up to episode 404, and let's jump right into this. Alright, so I saw a post on the Better Call Saul subreddit confirming that the remaining synopsis for all the episodes has been released on some TV listings website that I'll link in the description. So with that being said, let's take a look. Season 4, Episode 5, Quite a Ride. Jimmy identifies a new market for his talents, Mike vets a potential partnership, Kim drives a hard bargain. This is most likely discussing Jimmy's idea to sell burner phones to criminals, while Mike directs Gus's new foreign recruit. Meanwhile, there's most likely drama stirring up between Kim and Mesa Verde as she's lost her passion for the job. Season 4, Episode 6, Pinata. While Jimmy daydreams about reconstituting Wexler McGill, Kim sets out to secure her own future, Mike puts a plan into motion for Gus. So it seems like Jimmy has high hopes here as he imagines recreating a situation where he and Kim both work under the same roof again, but is this just wishful thinking? By the time this episode airs, we'll have to see if that's even realistic or if he's really just daydreaming. We know that there will be some sort of falling out between Kim and Jimmy this season, so we know that they probably won't end up creating another Wexler McGill situation. Also, it seems as though Kim will be taking a step forward as far as looking out for herself goes, as she probably fixes or hopefully fixes her problems with Mesa Verde. Finally, I assume that Mike will be helping Gus out with setting up the super lab, but we'll have to wait and see exactly what that entails, as the super lab doesn't even get fully set up until right before Gus meets Walt in Breaking Bad. This episode is called Pinata, and people are speculating that it's in reference to episode 3 of season 1 titled Nacho, as Jimmy speaks about Nacho and his men beating him like a meat pinata if he talks. Could episode 406 be where Jimmy crosses paths with Nacho again? Season 4, Episode 7, Something Stupid. Jimmy expands his business but runs into a problem that only Kim can solve. Gus intervenes in Hector's medical care, Mike deals with a setback. So it seems like Jimmy will be expanding his business as a burner phone supplier, but could he possibly be pushing towards replacing the vet Caldera as the criminal consultant who distributes certain connections for certain jobs? Also, what kind of situation will Jimmy be put in where Kim has to actually help him out? Will Jimmy be put in a situation where he has no choice but to turn to Kim for help as he admits to her his burner phone side business? And as far as Gus goes, will he possibly be the reason why Hector wakes up? I'm not sure about the whole setback that Mike could possibly be dealing with, but I assume it has to do with his work towards Gus. Season 4, Episode 8, Koshata, and I probably pronounced that wrong, but Jimmy goes to great lengths to right a wrong. As Kim pulls out all the stops for a case, Mike lets his team blow off steam, Nacho receives a visitor. So, what is Jimmy feeling so guilty about that he's trying to right? We saw him right a wrong back at the end of Season 3 when he threw himself under the bus to get Irene her friends back, but he hasn't really done much harm to anyone since. Is this wrong that he's trying to right something new that happens in a future episode, or is it Jimmy just generally feeling bad about how the aftermath of Chuck's death has affected Kim and Howard? It'd be nice to see Jimmy finally sit down and talk things out with Howard. And then there's Kim. What does this mean by she pulls out all the stops for a case, like a public defense case? Is she actually going back to the courtroom to do public defender work, like that conversation with the judge implied as she went back into his courtroom? Will Kim seriously throw away Mesa Verde for that? Maybe she'll end up getting fired? Anyways, apparently Mike gets a team assembled for himself during the last episode or so, but I got nothing when it comes to why he's letting his team blow off steam. Meanwhile, Nacho receives a visitor and I assume it's Lalo. Also, apparently the Koshata are a group of Native Americans who now live in Louisiana, Oklahoma, and Texas, so I'm not sure how that'll play into things. Season 4, Episode 9, Wintershehen, and should I just give up with how to pronounce these? Like, oh my goodness. So, Jimmy and Kim unburden themselves, risking their relationship in the process. Nacho is forced to make the rounds with Lalo. Mike has cause to worry. So I swear, doing shows like Better Call Saul and Fear the Walking Dead has made me pronounce more words in different languages than I ever had before, such as Spanish and German and who knows what else. So Wiedersehen is German for goodbye or until we meet again. I'm not sure which is more accurate, but I feel like the show creators are just teasing us with this title, as it seems to be foreshadowing between Jimmy and Kim possibly splitting up, especially after the synopsis says that they unburden themselves, risking their relationship in the process. During season 4 interviews, Kim's actor Ray Seahorn admitted that Jimmy and Kim will both be living double lives in a way, and that they're keeping their secret lives from each other. So could this episode not only be unraveling all of that, but also maybe consist of the bomb that goes off as they finally discuss everything that's happened around Chuck's death? Moving on, we see that Nacho is forced to make the rounds with Lalo, which is why I instantly assumed that Nacho's visitor last episode would have been Lalo as well, acting as setup for this. It seems like Lalo will be a major character during the final few episodes of Season 4, but will we see any conclusion, or is this just all set up for Season 5? Also, is Mike involved with this whole Nacho-Lalo situation, or is he worried about something else? We've had a promo image recently released for episode 409 featuring Lalo talking to a now awoken Hector, and I may do an entire video on this image in the future, but since we know that Hector is awake by episode 9, I'm definitely going to assume that Gus plays a role in him waking up during episodes 7 and 8. Alright, so season 4, episode 10, Winner. Jimmy turns the page in his reputation, Lalo tracks a loose end in Gus's operation, Mike is forced to make a difficult decision. So this episode will be the big season finale. I know it's quite the meme currently, but could the synopsis about Jimmy and his reputation be a hint at him fully becoming Saul? I wonder if Jimmy will still even be with Kim at this point, or if he'll be on his own as he takes his first few steps forward to officially become the infamous Saul Goodman persona. Next up, what is with Lalo sticking his nose in Gus's operation? Will Gus use Nacho as a way to get rid of Lalo, or at least piss him off and distract him enough to get him off of Gus's ass? Because from the lines that we hear Saul say out in the desert in Breaking Bad, we know that Nacho does something to piss off Lalo enough that would cause the cartel to possibly want to come after him, and we know that Saul knows about everything during the events of Breaking Bad as he tries throwing Nacho under the bus to Walt and Jesse. So, what is this situation between Lalo and Nacho that causes Saul to think that the cartel is holding him at gunpoint in Breaking Bad? Also, how does Jimmy even become involved with all this Lalo business? Moving on to Mike's side of things, will the end of this season finally be where Mike changes as a killer for hire, as thus far he's resisted killing? Mike has gone through a lot of trouble just to not pull the trigger, such as when he went through with that plan in season 2 to get Tuco sent to jail instead of just taking him out.
25. Definitely earned it. Still, you could have gotten twice as much for 1/10 the hassle. You would have done the world a favor. It wouldn't look like someone took a lead pipe to your face. Plus, when Tuco gets out, maybe he comes looking for you.
Get to the point.
Just saying, you went a long way to not pull that trigger. Why?
Mike has learned through his experiences that although not pulling the trigger is the humane thing to do, it doesn't always turn out to be the best option. Not only looking at the Tuco situation in season 2, but also considering Mike's truck heist as well. Mike decided to leave Hector's driver alive, but this actually resulted in the innocent civilian who found him being murdered by the Salamancas when the truck driver called them out there to clean everything up. Mike felt extremely guilty about this, eventually going out and finding the body of the innocent civilian in season 3, as he didn't want to be the reason why the guy's family would have to go through the same type of grieving as he saw Anita go through regarding her husband's disappearance while out hiking in the mountains. So although Mike has denied any contract killer work from Caldera or anyone really since the beginning of the show, will this transform Mike into the ruthless killer that we see in Breaking Bad, who believes in no half measures? What will this difficult decision be that Mike is forced to make in the season 4 finale? Some people speculate that he might be asked to kill Nacho's father, or even Nacho himself, but I truly hope that that isn't the case. Maybe Mike will bring Nacho to Jimmy in the hopes of being able to make Nacho disappear. Leave any theories in the comments below, but that's pretty much it for the video, guys. I'd appreciate a like on the video if you've enjoyed anything I've said today, as it really helps me out more than you can imagine. Feel free to subscribe for more Better Call Saul and Breaking Bad content in the near future, hit that bell notification button, and if you'd like to take that extra step in helping support the channel, consider checking out my Patreon as well. Also, feel free to follow me on Twitter too, link to both of those in the description. I'm fairly active on Twitter even when I'm not posting videos, and I'm always retweeting everything I can involving both the Better Call Saul and Walking Dead universe. But anyways guys, as always, I thank you all so much for watching, and until next time, I'll talk to you guys later. Peace out!